Welcome to chapter 3. So what happens next, right? I decide to meet with a counselor. I was almost done with my associate's degree and I decide to meet with a counselor and I say, hey, I know that I can literally have my bachelor's degree by next year for journalism. However, I have this interest in becoming a nursing student. And the counselors can't judge you for whatever career choice that you decide to have, right? So she just was asking me and making sure if this is a decision that I wanted to make because I had a good career path going for myself and I was almost done and I could already transfer out. And well, I had mentioned to her how I felt about that nursing is a respected field and that instead of doing investigative journalism and possibly risking my life for exposing the truth in journalism, that I would not be successful at doing so because I just have a loud mouth, and after going through all of the political activities for the reform of the deferred action for childhood arrivals, I was just done. I was just done. Like my political battery was like, oh, to see the bigger picture. I like to be in the shadow of these situations. I do not want to be in the spotlight. There's an immense amount of pressure. Once I found the details of political activities, I decided I did not want to know about it. I did not want to investigate it. And I certainly was very afraid to expose the truth of wealthy individuals or dangerous individuals and risk my life for doing so. So that's ultimately, to be truthful, is how I felt. And when I told her that, she said, okay, well, nursing would be a great career for you. You've got most of your classes down. A lot of these classes that you have overlap with the requirements of being a nursing student. But she reassured me, if it's not something that you really want to do and feel passionate about, I do not recommend that you do it because you will not be satisfied. She mentioned to me, I cannot tell you enough or stress you enough how many students regretted making that decision. Just because your classes fit that criteria does not necessarily mean that you're meant to be a nurse or a nursing student. So I told her I'm so interested. I have all the qualities and features of being a good nurse, of being a good citizen, and a contributing member to society. And of course, in the back of my head, I was thinking this would be really good. The United States would prefer me as an immigrant because I am a nurse, and maybe I can break the statistics and I can prove that somebody that was an immigrant is also a nurse, and eventually I would get a citizenship granted to me for being a good member to society, right? So I continued with my participation with the academic clubs, despite the fact that I was turning into the nursing field. And then I had my child and I ended up moving on to fulfilling the prerequisites that the counselor had told me about, which consist of the science classes, which are the famous 5. So there's the biology, there's the chemistry, there's the anatomy, there's the what's the other one? There's like major 3 to 5 classes that you have to take to be a nursing student. So I started taking them, and because I had a child now, I would take care of my child in the day, and I would wait for the dad to come home or for anybody to be in the house to take care of my child, and I would go to school at night. So I started doing some day classes whenever someone was available to take care of my child, and then I would go to school at night. So I knew my baby was getting taken care of. And since my last year of high school, I did participate in social media marketing, and that was beginning in 2011. As a senior in high school, I started being part of certain agencies that would recruit people to review their products, to promote their products. So a lot of my social media marketing started off online, and I just did it as a hobby for free products and exposure and having friends and family talk about that. I'm working with big companies or whatnot. Although I was not getting compensated for my work, I only was receiving free products. So I continued to do this social media marketing or whatnot, and doing my regular college student life and being a new mom. So I had my hands full, and it was a very stressful time in my life. But I will tell you that at some point when I started taking the full-time classes, the statistics, for example, the statistic classes, and then sciences together. It was a lot of stress because I realized that you have to really get good grades in these science classes. But then I had this math class, which I'm not good at. And then I would be so tired from studying and trying so hard and being a parent. And I would do all of the parenting. I would do all of the hands-on, so I was tired. I wouldn't get sleep. I had a newborn, I couldn't work. I was really stressed out. I really do not know how I survived that point in my life, to be honest. All I know is that I felt like I had good support, and I did, as far as to taking care of my child. And I started working also because I felt financially burdened, and I saw an opportunity in the medical field with my mother-in-law at the time, because she, as a business manager, was able to hire me, and I got my foot in the door with in the medical field. So it was a lot going on. So I was managing my schedule in a good manner and productively. And at some point, I remember thinking, this isn't just a degree anymore. I already have my associate's degree. I'm doing my college, my nursing prerequisites, I'm sorry. And it's a huge toll. Like, if you listen to my voice, which I'm genuinely telling you the truth, I'm trying to help you understand, it was a very draining process. And I remember thinking, do I really want this? Is it really worth staying up 2, 3 in the morning, doing math homework with my classmates, because of a degree? Like, is it really worth it? Because of a nursing degree, should I, be clear about that? So I kind of had like my little self-doubt moments, but I pushed through. And it was just stressful, but I pushed through. I got good grades. Chemistry, oh my gosh, that was a tricky class. I met so many people, which I'm grateful to have met, and it's just a very dear time for me in that part of college when I was a pre-nursing student, is how I like to call myself. And this all started feeling balanced because I made it balanced between all of my responsibilities. But this was the time when I started consulting with a psychologist in college. And if you don't know, or if you haven't heard from anyone, most community colleges and private colleges will give you free sessions, about 5 to 6, at least here in the state of California or in the Los Angeles region, about 5 to 6 sessions for free per semester for college students to support their mental health. So you will have a licensed medical psychologist available for you whenever you want. So I took advantage of those resources, and I encourage you as a nursing student or a pre-med student to seek these resources, because it is the only thing that kept me sane during this very stressful time in my life. Yes, so in the next chapter, we will be talking about some relationship problems that I started having with my son's dad, and a lot of it had to do because I was holding an associate's degree now, and I was leveling up in my career, and my significant other coming from a certain cultural background and having substance abuse, which I did not know about, besides the illegal cannabis at the time that he was using, amongst, other stuff. It really started taking a toll on me, and there was a lot of domestic violence taking place during this time because he felt that I was better than him, and he found that to be a challenge, so he would do whatever it took to give me a hard time, and not let me sleep, and make the kid cry, make sure that everything was on my plate. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom before, but I was not working, and I didn't have the luxury of staying home and decompressing. I was just constantly on the go since I started taking these prerequisites, and all of a sudden I was just not a college student anymore. I was a pre-nursing student, and my schedule was full and busy, and it was very draining. So yes, in the next chapter, we will discuss my relationship and how that can also affect your relationship too. I'll see you guys in the next one.